Deputy Minority Leader and MP for EMMANUEL BUAH has strongly criticized the deplorable state of the Takoradi-Agona-Nkwanta road, stating that it represents an injustice to the people of the Western region. He has urgently called on the roads minister to address the road's condition and alleviate the sufferings of motorists. Citi News' AGYARE brings us the details on the state of roads in the Western region.
Due to the collapse of the Western Railway line in the early 2000s, heavy-duty trucks now haul over 70% of manganese and 100% of bauxite from Awaso and Insuta, respectively. Unfortunately, these trucks have severely damaged the major highway from Takwa through the Agona-Nkwanta to Takoradi road, resulting in regular breakdowns of vehicles and causing significant traffic congestion, particularly around the Ewusiajo and Apremodo communities, especially during rainy weather. The roads have deteriorated into pothole-filled hazards, affecting both motorists and the ordinary residents of Sekendi Takoradi.
This is an example of the many potholes-filled roads across the Western region, where we have several of these potholes actually becoming a nuisance to both passengers and motorists who ply these roads. This very road actually links Takoradi-Agona-Nkwanta, which is actually also located on the N1 highway to Ivory Coast. And the call for passengers over here is that these roads must be fixed under the so-called continuation of the Year of Roads project.
And now, we go to the whole day. How many hours? 3 hours. One side, and then so we have 1 hour.
Young from the Enyejuma, now Quakaye. And one, Enyejuma was a Konokoye. This was a interviewer. Number one in a interview. I'm going to walk why the waffle be. Number one, last year, so Tomo for I didn't know. What's the obey or Shakoni? He said, I'm a finished Marco. Satamo, I could not go what's what from my cinema. And you have one Magana, then what there, anyone and no more. You're too young, pain, say, oh, pain, no, say any pain to me.
Man, penny for one boyan. And she says, scan one for me and Dibida. On a quiet science, you have on one channel 1 boyan. They are the blood, this is on a day. A day a parker for bare 2 hours, no quiet issue. It's a gun upon you for one say, baby, will be a one say there. This is a quine upon my quine or the Hano. Why say? It's 1 blood and 1 by I had a ma. Mamma, about 2 times a mamma for ballot box in Bessia there. Young tomorrow and a bialink as a piano. Yamapa make a champion from what you're saying. On China about to one son, what the machine a basic one the warrior. Oh no, young chairman.
When asked about the government's plans for the Agona-Nkwanta road, the MC for Hunter West provided a response.
Well, it's a worry, it's a cause to worry, but what I'm saying is that they will definitely come. If indeed I know it has been given to a contractor, so they will come. You know, like I said, you know, when it comes to this road construction, it doesn't take a day. It doesn't take a day. And definitely I know the road, because I have had so many informations and the importance that some of my big men have taken notice on that road, and I know very soon. But for now, since it has not been fully taken over, there should be some maintenance work.
The continuous destruction caused by these holy trucks has rendered major roundabouts like the Takoradi Park Grant roundabout and the Kwame Nkrumah roundabout nearly impassable, further exacerbating the situation for motorists.
A conversation and I'm to say about you and say to type of front 3 weeks. No, as I say, Uncle, in pay for the opera or the Agenda. Opera politics no barber and it's been to whom they always got to come and work, you know. One junior driver say, and road to occupy and try to police me, no cardo. Income tax, no cardo. On doing the coin number, on yet. The middle man on boy. Oh, no, that could more the man was share, wash after the name you now, because this will cause a bone man work at your no academy. After the new Saturday. Although I was also pay for the ones who know. Here in Impama, one jobs are from Gotina in Impane. Well, you know, I was when you were. No, I'm not to injure the man away and you're fine.
EMMANUEL BUAH, the Deputy Minority Leader and MP for Elembele, has expressed deep concern over the situation and considers it as an injustice to the people of Sekondi, Takoradi and the entire Western region, which significantly contribute to the country's prosperity.
From Takoradi through Agona Junction towards Takwa. You know, anytime you pass through that road, you ask yourself, if you want to see injustice, this is it. I mean, why will the heart and soul of Ghana, this is where everything goes through. This is a region that produces almost 60% of what makes Ghana resource. The money that we need for development comes from one region. But you pass through these roads and you ask yourself, why? When you invest in these roads in the Western region, you are not helping the Western region. You are helping Ghana. This is where Ghana's resources come from. Whether it's cocoa, whether it's bauxite, whether it's gold, whether it's oil, all the LPG trucks that basically feed Ghana, almost 60%, comes from the same road. And you do not think that the government will see that this is a priority road to address? There's something I have to say. You know, if you look at the voting patterns in the Western region, I'm beginning to believe that you are actually punished for voting for MPP. Because you know why? Just go to Sekondi, Takoradi, through Ahanta, through Takwa. These are people who have been the brunt of difficult challenges since this government came into power.
He urges the government to promptly revive the Western Railway line to transport bauxite and manganese, thereby preventing further damage caused by the holy tracks on the Western roads.
We're made to understand that the reason why the government has set up a whole Ministry of Railways is to basically prioritize railways development. I mean, anybody who understands railways financing knows that the only way that you can develop railway in the country is that it must be backed by some resources that is hauled through that railway line. And in Ghana, if you want railway development to be solid, then you need to make sure that the Western Railway line solidly stands so that manganese, bauxite can be hauled through that. It's the only way that makes passenger rail financially feasible. I mean, this thing about Sky Train and all of that, if it's not backed by a rail transportation that is hauling real natural resources, bauxite, manganese, you are not going to have the funding because the passenger fares will not pay for that funding. And the government knows that. And they've done nothing about railway development in the Western region. I think the urgency of the situation calls for the minister to immediately, this week, take steps to address the Takoradi-Agona Junction roads because it is hurting this economy.
And the call over here is that government must actually keep to its promise of fixing the roads under the so-called year of roads, which is still continuing. For Citi Newsroom, I'm on the Agona-Nkwanta to Takoradi Highway.